Imagine a world where words alone can conjure up complex software. Collins Dictionary has just crowned vibe coding as its word of the year for 2025, and it's sparking debates about the future of technology. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this revolutionary innovation or a risky shortcut that could dumb down an entire profession? Stick around to discover what this means for you and the digital age we live in. So, what exactly is vibe coding? In simple terms, it's a cutting-edge approach to building software that lets you describe what you want in everyday language, and artificial intelligence, AI, handles the rest by generating the actual code. No more slogging through line after line of technical instructions yourself. This concept was first introduced in February by Andrej Karpathy, a former AI leader at Tesla and one of the original engineers behind OpenAI. He described it as a shift where you focus on explaining your goals to an AI tool, which then produces the code automatically. For beginners, think of it like ordering food at a restaurant. Instead of following a recipe step by step in the kitchen, you tell the chef your preferences, and they whip up the dish. For example, if you're building a simple app for tracking daily habits, you might say to the AI, make an app that lets users log their water intake and set reminders, and voila, the code appears, ready to run. Collins Dictionary's team tracks trends by analyzing the Collins corpus, an enormous database containing 24 billion words from diverse sources like social media, news, and books. This helps them spot emerging terms that capture the zeitgeist. And this is the part most people miss: the selection process isn't random, it reflects how language evolves with technology and culture, giving us a mirror to our changing world. Monterosa. This content is provided by Monterosa, which may be using cookies and other technologies. To show you this content, we need your permission to use cookies. You can use the buttons below to amend your preferences to enable Monterosa cookies or to allow those cookies just once. You can change your settings at any time via the privacy options. Unfortunately, we have been unable to verify if you have consented to Monterosa cookies. To view this content, you can use the button below to allow Monterosa cookies for this session only. Vibe coding narrowly edged out fierce competition from other buzzwords. Take clanker, for instance, a snarky nickname for computers, robots, or AI systems, often tossed around on social media by folks venting their frustrations or skepticism about unreliable chatbots and platforms. It's like calling a clunky old machine a clanker when it fails to understand your request. Then there's glaze, which means showering someone with over-the-top praise that's not entirely earned, perhaps to butter them up or mask insecurities. The list also included aura farming, the art of strategically building a cool, magnetic personality to seem effortlessly charismatic. Think influencers curating their online vibe for maximum appeal. And broligarchy, a playful jab at the bigwigs running giant tech companies, often dubbed tech bros for their dominant influence. For more insights, check out these related Sky News pieces. Is net zero dead? https://news.sky.com/story/is-net-0-dead-13463809. Who is Zoran Mamdani? https://news.sky.com/story/who-is-Zaran-Mamdani-who-could-become-new-york-city-next-mayor-133888523. What's the impact of the US shutdown? https://news.sky.com/story/government-shutdown-what-impact-is-it-having-on-everyday-Americans-134633838. Here are some other standout contenders that nearly took the crown. Biohacking, sometimes called do-it-yourself biology, involves experimenting with your body's natural functions to boost health and potentially live longer. For example, enthusiasts might tinker with diets, supplements, or even wearable tech to optimize energy levels or immunity, turning personal wellness into a hands-on science project. Micro-retirement is a trend popular among Gen Z and millennials, where you pause your career for a short stint to chase passions like traveling or learning a new skill, before jumping back into work. It's like hitting the refresh button on life without committing to full-time retirement. Coolcation describes escaping to a chilly destination for a vacation, especially when your usual spots are sweltering due to rising temperatures. Picture swapping a tropical beach for a crisp mountain getaway to beat the heat. Taskmasking is the sneaky habit of pretending to be busy at work to look productive, while actually slacking off, like scrolling social media under the guise of researching for a project. Henry stands for high earner, not rich yet, referring to those with solid incomes but meager savings, often due to high living costs or lifestyle choices that drain their bank accounts. Now, let's take a stroll down memory lane with Collins's past words of the year. These picks can make you feel like a cultural insider or leave you scratching your head at how quickly language shifts. But here's where it gets controversial. Some argue these words reflect societal progress, while others see them as evidence of how fads overshadow real issues. How many of these do you know from the last decade? 2015, binge watch, watching multiple episodes of a TV show in one sitting, often binging through an entire season. 2016, Brexit, the UK's decision to exit the European Union, a term that defined geopolitical upheaval. 2017, fake news, misleading or sensational stories presented as legitimate journalism, famously echoed in political discourse during Donald Trump's second term. 2018, single-use, items designed for one-time disposal, highlighted in efforts to combat environmental harm like plastic pollution in oceans. 2019, climate strike, protests where people ditch school or work to advocate for climate action, inspired by activist Greta Thunberg. 2020, lockdown, strict rules limiting movement and gatherings during the COVID-19 pandemic to curb the virus. 2021, NFT, short for non-fungible token, a digital certificate proving ownership of unique online assets like art, music, or tweets, revolutionizing digital collectibles, though some critics call it an overpriced bubble. 2022, permacrisis, a prolonged state of turmoil and uncertainty, capturing the chaos of wars, economic woes, and global tensions. 2023, AI, artificial intelligence, which exploded in popularity after tools like ChatGPT made it a household topic. 2024, Brat, a vibe popularized by singer Charlie XCX, embodying a bold, self-assured, and pleasure-seeking lifestyle. What do you think? Is vibe coding the dawn of effortless innovation, or does it threaten the creativity and rigor of traditional coding? Could relying on AI lead to shoddy software, or is it democratizing tech for everyone? Share your opinions in the comments. Do you agree, disagree, or have a counterpoint to add to the debate?